Until 2014, political parties, especially those that came to power, had been known to pull the old switcheroo. Going back on your word was an everyday event, and leaving the people in a lurch wasn't unheard of. All this changed when Prime Minister Narendra Modi took over and made accountability one of the pivotal qualities of any government. But again, the habit of disruptive demands and unsubstantiated announcements seems to have persisted within many leaders, even when they are now in the opposition. Recently, these leaders came together to send to their Prime Minister an open letter regarding what may be done for COVID-19 pandemic in India. First off, are farm laws even mildly related to the pandemic? As the letter argues to repeal the laws that bring independence and liberates farmers from archaic regulations, why does it fail to mention the hundreds that are still camping on Delhi borders and risking a super spreader event? Moreover, the 2019 election manifesto for the Congress argued for freeing up the agri-market in India. Was it not Sharad Pawar, the NCP Supremo, who had even written letters to make way for more private participation in the agri-sector and freeing up the markets? Why have these leaders retraced their steps when this is becoming a reality? On Tuesday, BJP President JP Nadda's scathing letter to Sonia Gandhi seems to have jolted an otherwise sleeping opposition into putting up another infamous smokescreen by means of this letter. Let's widen our analysis. The letter in question, signed by INC's Sonia Gandhi, NCP's Sharad Pawar, and even SP's Akhilesh Yadav, talks about the vaccination process. Just to give you a background, over the last few months, Congress leaders like Rahul Gandhi had called for a more prominent say for states when it comes to vaccine procurement. Meanwhile, leaders like Shashi Tharoor had asked for opening up procurement for private institutions so that vaccines may be available at a marginally higher price if people needed it. TMC's Mamata Banerjee, who happens to be another signatory to the letter, had also demanded that states be allowed to procure vaccines. But when this is exactly what was done by the Prime Minister Modi-led government, these leaders seem to have gone back on their words faster than a boomerang. Why ask for centralization when you have been demanding decentralization with every breath? Moreover, when Congress leaders have been creating doubts about the Made in India vaccines for months, and Akhilesh Yadav even saying that he won't take it since it is a BJP vaccine, should we even pay any heed to what they say about vaccines? Furthermore, with India having already initiated what is said to be the world's largest vaccination drive, why this argument about a mass vaccination drive? So far, out of the 17 crore people, almost 16 crore have availed the vaccination free of cost. If not from the budgetary allocations made this year, where might the resources be coming from? We wonder. Other important points in this letter are the suggestions to give money to the poor and to initiate a free distribution of food grains for the needy. What's baffling is that signatories to the letter, like Mr. Pawar, have been known to propagate the infamous Vasooli or extortion culture in the state governments, while others like Mamata Banerjee have, with all their might, stopped welfare schemes like PM Kisan to reach the people in West Bengal. In addition, the PM Garib Kalyan Yojana has already been providing food grains to economically weaker sections of the country. This scheme, that was implemented till November last year, has already been extended this year and will benefit nearly 800 million. Why the unnecessary suggestion? Finally, the Central Vista Redevelopment Project and the PM CARES Fund. The broken record sings again. Why is a project approved before the pandemic being pulled up, and what of the inflated costs for the MLA hostel in Mumbai? Not to mention the new building for the Legislative Assembly in Chhattisgarh, both Congress-ruled states. And PM CARES Fund, coming from the Congress that has its party presidents as members of funds like PM-NRF, funds that remained unaccounted under UPA governments. This argument doesn't sit right. Moreover, funds from PM CARES have already been allocated and used to procure colossal amounts of medical supplies. Only yesterday, PM Modi announced the procurement of 1.5 lakh units of DRDO-developed OxyCare system using PM CARES. Given this stupendous capacity to ignore schemes already in place and the audacity with which they go back on their word, it is difficult to place any manner of trust in the opposition. However, at a time when the nation is dealing with a pandemic and a surge in new cases is being witnessed, a coordinated effort to strengthen India's response is the need of the hour. In an ideal circumstance, the opposition might have actually united to help aid the government's efforts to combat COVID-19. But unfortunately, that does not seem to be the case. Until next time, keep watching New India Junction. Remember to stay safe, healthy, and get vaccinated as soon as you are eligible. Dhanyavad and Namaste.